And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/Takes by Fans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big all-Saturday day 2 of the round Sweet 16 in March Madness. I mean, how crazy was yesterday? We got some great games. I mean, really close games. Some games that kind of went away late in the second half, but overall it was a great day of basketball on all day from really kind of 2 to late at night. So that was always good, and we're ready to redo it today. Let's run it back today. 4 great games on today, starting once again at 2 p.m. going all the way up to, I believe, 9 o'clock, just like last night. So we'll double check on the times and all that, but we will kind of, once again, be reviewing our bracket, doing a moneymaker for the March Madness. We went 2 of 2 yesterday, taking all those points, and almost 3 and 1. We hit almost one of the games. Not the Syracuse game, but one of the games, very good in the first half, and then in that second half, I mean, they just kind of bungled it and lost all that lead and lost the points, and then did not cover. So 2 and 2 officially. We'll call it we'll call it 3-1 unofficially. But then so we'll be doing the March Madness, and then we are finally, hopefully, getting to Elijah Molden. We've been putting this man off like 4 straight days just because we haven't been able to fit him in the show. But we're a little light on the stories today. Little light on basketball today, so we can kind of go through that quickly. So I think we are going to finally get to safety Elijah Molden from Washington in our draft prospect of the day. So let's waste no more time. Let's get into the stories of the day. Here we go. The first one. Alrighty, I saw this one and I went to investigate a little bit more, and then it's just classic nonsense, folks. It's just classic nonsense. People just talking. So here it is. Patriots are reportedly still, quote, sniffing around trade for Jimmy Garoppolo after the 49ers trade for the number 3 pick. Now, we all know that the 49ers are drafting a quarterback. You do not trade up to the number 3 pick, getting rid of 2 future first-round picks to draft anybody else that's not a franchise quarterback. So Jimmy G's, looking like he's on the way out, probably will play this season 2021, but probably won't be there beyond this 49ers team after that. He's not going to be a backup. I mean, this man's proven that he can get to a Super Bowl, so in his mind he's like, I'm not going to be backing up somebody. I'm not going to be Mitch Trubisky out here. I'm not going to go and play under Josh Allen and wait for my opportunity to play. No, I'm going to win us. I'm going to be the reason why we win the championship. So he's definitely not going to be a backup. He probably won't get through the entire 2021 season, in my opinion, depending on who they draft and how they work out. We just saw Zach Wilson, the other day, and that man was looking fantastic on his pro day. And we were already big on him, just kind of looking at his stats and his highlights and what he can do on the field. So, I would say the 49ers are not going to be having Jimmy Garoppolo too much longer. And that just brings up, is Bill Belichick. He didn't even want to trade Jimmy Garoppolo in the first place. That was up for Robert Kraft. He kind of, pulled the trigger and said, hey, we're keeping Tom. Get rid of Jimmy G because I don't want you, benching Tom Brady. There's temptation there with Jimmy G, so you have to get rid of him. Get rid of the temptation, Bill. So, obviously, them coming back together, it just seems like a natural fit. So, we'll see what happens here. And if the Patriots do make the big old trade, but it's just funny, Patriots are still reportedly sniffing around, and it's like who's sniffing and who's doing the sniffing and who's telling us that they're doing the sniffing. So this is what we get. This is the source that we get, that there's still the Patriots are still looking into drafting Jimmy G. So appearing on ESPN's Get Up, ESPN NFL insider Diana Ruzzini stated that league sources are telling her that Patriots could still make a play for Jimmy G. So league sources are telling this NFL insider, who is now telling it on ESPN Get Up. But then this is what her quoted. This is NFL insider Diana Ruzzini's quote right here. Just recently, I was talking to somebody in the league who I really trust. All right, no name. She really trusts him. Does this man even exist? Blah, blah, blah. Rosini said he's got good information. So she trusts somebody who's got good information. All right. Alrighty, that's the source we're talking about here. He said, quote, do not take the Jimmy Garoppolo trade off the table. That's what she's saying. That's the good information of the person that she really trusts. Do not take Jimmy Garoppolo trade off the table. That is something new. That is something New England is still sniffing out. Bill doesn't like to put his cards out on the table, so most think if we all know about it that it will probably won't happen. But there is definitely a tone in the league that it could still go down. So, I mean, this is nothing concrete. This isn't even anything. I mean, this is why it's not being really reported too much around everywhere. But, I mean, yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Do not take the Jimmy Garoppolo trade off the table. Who knows if it will happen? Who knows if Bill even wants him back? Bill might be sticking it to Robert Kraft, be like, no. You got rid of him. We're not bringing him back. That's on you. I knew he was going to work. I told you it was going to work, but now it's too late. So we'll see what happens here. It'll be definitely interesting. I would love to see Jimmy Garoppolo go back to Billy B. I wanted to see kind of what Bill Belichick's plan was with Jimmy Garoppolo after the Tom Brady transition, but that never came to fruition because, Robert Kraft forcing the Jimmy Garoppolo trade. So we'll see if he goes there. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's going to feel, I'm assuming he's feeling disrespected right now, right at that trade. And then having George Kittle go on social media and being like, wow, like, a big trade happened, be like, hey, I'm your quarterback and you're kind of, rooting for the other guy. Okay. See who doesn't get, 20 or like 80 catches this season. So Jimmy Garoppolo, possibly, maybe, potentially, could reunite with Bill Belichick. Alrighty, and this is our last NFL story of the day. Just Matt Stafford's best plays from 2020. Now we know he's no longer with the Lions and has teamed up with Sean McVay there in Los Angeles. So it's definitely going to be kind of sink or swim for Matt Stafford. He doesn't have a lot of time to, all right, let me take a season to, understand the playbook and get acclimated, and then next season we can make the run. No. Everybody on that Rams team needs to start winning now. Sean McVay, Matt Stafford. I mean, everybody says Matt Stafford's great and he's got a great arm and great accuracy, but he's just on those damn lines. I mean, the general manager can't even get the coach right, and the coaches are always trashing these weapons. I mean, what are we working with here? And, Matt Stafford's the only good piece on this Lions team. So now he goes to a more credible organization in the Rams, who already has really the infrastructure offensively and defensively in place. They just need the quarterback, because that's what Sean McVay's been saying this entire time. I can't make it work with Jared Goff. I've tried. Y'all see me try. I've done as much as I could. I got us to the big game. I got us to the bowl. I got us to the Super Bowl against Tom Brady. He just can't do it. He put up like 3 points in the Super Bowl. I just cannot work with this. I need something else. So the Rams are like, alrighty, we'll get you Matt Stafford. Is that all right? And, Sean McVay, I'm assuming he agrees since he's there right now. So everybody needs to start winning right now with the Rams. So let's see what Matt Stafford did this season. What can this man do? Is he still looking good? Is he a little past his prime? Is he still making all the throws? So let's see what this man's got. Here we go. It is a little long here, so we'll see if we need to keep going, if we feel like we've seen enough, because it is 7 minutes. But we don't really have any other stories to talk about, so I thought we could perfectly squeeze this in today. So let's see what we got here. Matt Stafford's top plays of 2020. Here we go. Alrighty, first play in the red zone from the 4-yard line, dropping back to pass. There it is. Nice little tight end right there. Easy money. Just puts it right on him. Fantastic. Clutch in the red zone. That's obviously something that we need, because they're facing the Bears right now. We know Mitch Trubisky cannot throw in the red zone for his life. He's throwing picks out here. So still nice and clutch there in the red zone so far here for Matt Stafford. Next play against the Packers. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, alrighty. This man can still play. That's all we need to see. We can stop the highlight package right now. Look at how forcefully he fit this ball in here. 30 yards down the field. Fit it right in there. Ooh, that velocity on the ball right between those two defenders converging right there. Able to get it there for the touchdown. 30 yards. Wow. That's a tight throw to make. So it's still there, folks. Don't worry about Matt Stafford's accuracy, his velocity on the ball. He can still make it work. Yes, they're getting blown out by the Packers right there, but I mean, that's what we're talking about. The Lions are trash. We just want to see Matt Stafford be good. That's all we're kind of looking for on this highlight package. So we're back here Back in the red zone against the Cardinals. Once again, going to his tight end. Bingo, bango. For the touchdown right on the goal line. And let's just quickly, since he's going to all these tight ends in the red zone, let's look at this Rams depth chart at tight end. They got a good one. Because Matt Stafford's telling us, hey, I kind of want a pretty good tight end to work with in the red zone. So let's see. They have... That's their defense. The heck? Alrighty. That usually just brings up their offensive depth chart. All right. Was not expecting to get that. Alrighty. What do we got here? Alrighty, tight end. Tyler Higbee, absolutely fantastic. Yes, sir. So he's going to have a good catching tight end there. That's what we're talking about. That's all the Rams need, folks. Alrighty, so tight end is checked there in Los Angeles Rams. Alrighty, we're back in the red zone again. Yes, sir. Seeing Matt Stafford perform well in the red zone, that's a huge green flag for him having success. If you're not good in the red zone, oh, look at that. Little bit dangerous pass there, but he's trusting his wide receivers. Kenny Golladay, why would you not trust that man? And you've got, Cooper Kupp and, who's their other wide receiver? It's Cooper Kupp and, we still got this up. Robert Woods, that's right, yeah. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, both, pretty decent weapons, nice, tall wide receivers that can go and make these passes like Kenny Golladay does, so perfect there for Matt Stafford's new team. Back in the red zone, yes, sir. Once again, this man is throwing dimes in the red zone, capitalizing, scoring points. That's what you need in this league. Mitch Trubisky couldn't do it. Matt Ryan still can't even do it for the Falcons. That's the only reason why the Falcons are not having success. Once again, back in the red zone. Another one to his trusty target right there. Trusting your big old tight ends on the goal line. We're going to get another one right here. Play action pass, and there it is, wide open. The tight end in the red zone. This is perfect, man. Capitalizing in the red zone. Like we said, Mitch Trubisky can't do it. And oh my goodness, we're getting another one here on 4th and goal. It's clutch, and once again going to the tight end right on the front of the goal line. Yes, sir. Tyler Higbee, you better be ready because you're going to get pass after pass after pass after pass in the red zone there. Watch out. Early fantasy projections right here. And before we get to this game-winning pass against the Falcons, tight end, if you're looking for a tight end in your fantasy league, pick up Tyler Higbee. That's going to be the sleeper because Matt Stafford is throwing dimes here in the red zone to the tight ends. Alrighty, here we go. Game-winning pass, absolutely clutch against the Falcons. Steps up in the pockets and then delivers a nice throw. Once again to a tight end in the red zone for the game winner. Love it. Yes, sir. Getting it done, scoring points, winning games. What more do you want from this man? Moving methodically down the field, getting into the red zone, and then capitalizing. That's what the Falcons couldn't do. Matt Ryan couldn't play well in the red zone. Mitch Trubisky's throwing turnovers in the red zone. Who just lost the NFC Championship game because he couldn't score in the red zone consistently. Aaron Rodgers missing, settling for field goals against Tom Brady to go to the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford's not going to have that problem this season, folks. Alrighty, now from the 30-yard line again. There it is. Bingo, right on the money. Boom, and there we go. Marvin Jones Jr. for the touchdown here. Trusting his pieces, getting those wide receivers open, and then just throwing them a little bit more wide open just to put that extra touch on the ball just to make sure it goes for the touchdown. So a nice throw there by Matt Stafford. Fantastic. Alrighty. Here we go. Back in the red zone. Here we go. Let's see. Can the man capitalize? I'm sure he can. Let's see. Here it is. Back of the end zone. Trusting your wide receivers. One-on-one matchup. A little low. Would have liked to see the throw a little bit higher. But, hey, at the end of the day, it goes down for the score. Not an interception. And that's what we're looking for. Alrighty. This time against Washington. Finally not in the red zone. So let's see this man air it out. The cannon is still there. Yes, sir. The pinpoint precision accuracy. And look at this man looking over at the sideline and be like, yeah, you know it. And you don't think Sean McVay McVay's going to have some of these moments with Matt Stafford being like, hey, I told you it was going to be open. Just throw it. That's why Jared Goff is no longer here. Yes, sir. Point him out. Yes, sir. You called it. I delivered it. Look at the arm. Yes, sir. Bingo, bango, touchdown. Let's go up 6-0 on this Washington team right here. There it is. I mean, you don't think, that's just too easy right there. Holy cow, that's way too easy. What is that corner doing for Washington? Jeez. But yeah, I mean, the Rams have some nice speedy receivers like Detroit does. I'm telling you right now, Rams receivers are better. I'm going to say they're better right now than what the Lions were working with last year. So Matt Stafford should really have no problem here. Let's just count the yards on this pass one more time quickly, just to really kind of get, set the tone here, throwing it from the 40-yard line, getting it all the way down to the 15. That's 55. Is that 55? 45? What do we got? 35 plus 10, 45 yards, maybe 50 yards, however you want to count it. So fantastic. The arm is still there. The deep ball accuracy, it's even a little underthrown. So hopefully maybe, the arm isn't falling off too bad for Matt Stafford, because it was a little underthrown. We had to see the receiver kind of wait for it a little bit, but it was so wide open. You're just trying to make sure it's complete. Man, just got burned right there. What is that? Woof. I would not want to watch film if I was that corner being like, ooh, you just got bitched. You just got pushed down. Nothing. All right, Matt Stafford back against this Washington defense, and there we go again. Yes, sir. Pinpoint accurate is exactly where it had to be. Nice little look off there, throwing it all the way back to the left side, and that's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's perfection. It's pure perfection on that pass. Matt Stafford is still doing classic Matt Stafford things. So watch out, man. The Rams are going to be absolutely fantastic out here. Watch it one more time. Right between the corner and the safety coming over. Plenty of time to get 2 feet down. Plenty of time for the ball to get there. And now we're back in the red zone. Yes, sir. Let's see him capitalize here. Once again, just losing 41-17 right here. Just that Lions defense and just the overall kind of, coaching staff of that team is just absolutely trash. We know that. Matt Stafford's really the only really green light there with the Lions. Going deep, throwing this one from about the 45-yard line, getting it all the way down to the goal line. There it is. That's the arm we're talking about. And I want to say he threw this one from the left hash, getting it all the way to the right hash in the freaking goal line. Look at that one, throwing it. Okay, he did step up for the right hash, but I mean, still, right hash to the right sideline, still, adding more pressure on that throw. And he just launched it for 55 yards clean. 50, 55, however you want to mark that. It's still great, so we don't have to worry about the arm from Matt Stafford. The deep ball accuracy is absolutely there. The deep ball is there regardless. The arm strength is no worry of Matt Stafford. So, oh my God, look at that. Beautiful. Right out in front of the outstretched hands of the defender. Can't put it more perfectly accurate than that one. This man, Matt Stafford. All right, here we go against the Bears still. Once again, these deep balls, man, oh man. If these Rams wide receivers have a half a step on the defense, it's going to be a completion. Matt Stafford is throwing it absolutely on the money. Pinpoint accuracy, throwing it high in a way where only the receiver can get it every single time. When the receivers have the step on the defender, he's placing it right on the money, right in stride for them to keep going, to propel them into the end zone. And now we get a nice little fake right here. And once again, it's to the tight end right here. Nice little pitch back inside. This play, everybody's running this play. Now, I see everybody in the NFL running this play, and the Rams are stacked to run this play as well. They got a great running game. They got a good catching tight end, and that's all you need to run this play, and Matt Stafford to execute it that we see right now. And back in the red zone, whoa, throwing dangerous over the middle of the end zone right here, but it's right there. That's pinpoint accuracy. I can't believe he made this throw. Look at all these defenders dropping back in cover. Just 6 defenders right there in the middle of the field, but somehow Matt Stafford's got that pinpoint accuracy to absolutely miss every single one of those defenders. No chance at a bat, no chance at a pick. Only thing, it's a drop or it's a completion. That's all there is to it. And Matt Stafford's got some decent receivers here for the Lions, so it was a catch. All right, showing off the arm again. 50 yards clean. There it is. Accurate, deep. receiver, leading him, fantastic. I mean, folks, what? This man's great. This man still got it. He still got it. The man still has it. Woo! Sean McVay may have made the right decision here. I don't know if Jared Goff's making all these throws consistently, especially in the red zone. I don't know, man. Oof. Alrighty, back at the 20-yard line. Let's get another red zone one in here. Yes, sir. Strike over the middle. Pinpoint accuracy. It's all there, man. It's all there. Matt Stafford still mother-loving has it, folks. Watch out for the Rams. Do I dare say Super Bowl champions? Is that going a little bit too far? Maybe Super Bowl participants? Maybe NFC Championship participants? I would say that at least. Matt Stafford in LA with the Rams, he's gonna win a ring, man. If Matt Stafford finally wins a ring, boy. He's looking at Tom Brady and be like, oh, I just needed to leave a team to win some rings? Damn, I should have did this, 10 years ago. Darn it. Now I can't, catch up with the legacy that Tom Brady has said, because there's no way I'm getting to 10 Super Bowls when I'm already, 34, 35 years old. So, Matt Stafford, man. He's going to be fine. The Rams are going to be good, man. Woof. The man still got it. Alrighty, moving on here. The final story to talk about. Lamarcus Aldridge. He finally signed somewhere, didn't get traded, got bought out, kind of, all right, where am I going to go now? And then guess where he chooses? The Brooklyn freaking Nets, man. The rich get richer. And I was seeing, everybody's making a big deal of Blake Griffin and Lamarcus Aldridge joining their past their prime. Well, Blake Griffin just dropped 17 points off the bench and caught a lob and is now dunking now. So, okay, now maybe they're coming back into their prime. Maybe they're out of their prime, age-wise, but, I mean, they're still having solid production out here. And same thing with Lamarcus Aldridge. I mean, don't disrespect this man. With the Spurs this season, the man was putting up 13, 4, and 1 off the bench, or in the starting role. Off the bench sometimes. We can look at the splits a little bit. So, I mean, averaging 13, 4 and 1. I mean, you know what? That off the bench, that's great production. I don't care who it is. I mean, we've got, rookies. We've got, good players out here doing pretty not great things. Not as good as Lamarcus Aldridge, I would say. So let's go to these splits real quick, see what he's doing this season. Alrighty, in the starting role, 26 minutes when he's been the starter. He's had 18 games of being the starter here this season for the Spurs. And in 26 minutes in starting minutes, he's putting up 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists a game. That's good. That's good. Yes, he's aging out of this league, but if you have this off your bench, it's great production. And then 3 games he played this season for the Spurs off the bench, coming off the bench, playing 21 minutes and still getting you 11 points and 5 rebounds. That's what you want. That's what you want from all your bench players. Double-digit points, good amount of assists or rebounds or a mixture of both, but just having great production out here. So Lamarcus Aldridge is going to have this team, all right, that's already fantastic. He's going to be the one that puts them over the edge. I mean, we're seeing a lot of teams that doesn't even have like one good bench player. The Hawks don't really have that great of a bench player. The Hornets, they got good bench players, but I mean, this Nets team, they just brought in Blake Griffin, who just found success, 17 points. Lamarcus Aldridge, who's shown that he could give us, 14 points or 11 points with 5 rebounds coming off the bench. So I don't want to hear that, Lamarcus Aldridge is washed and he's out of his prime, so what's the big deal with the signing? What's the big deal that he's still going to give us 11 points and 5 rebounds coming off the bench for a team that's already fantastic with multiple stars that just got better off the bench, signing Blake Griffin. Now they get Lamarcus Aldridge. This is a super team now here in Brooklyn. Once everybody starts to get, right and healthy and not just, placing the burden on James Harden every single game to carry the squad single-handedly, it's going to be almost impossible to stop. So we'll see if any team's going to be able to beat the deep Brooklyn Nets this season. It's going to be tough, folks. This Lamarcus Aldridge signing, don't think it's nothing. It's absolutely almost annoyingly unfair, I would say. So Lamarcus Aldridge he signs with the Nets. Alrighty, those are all the stories we had to cover for today. So before we get into the NBA, let's head over to March Madness because we got another full day on, folks. Yes, sir. And now we can kind of update our brackets. Where are we standing after the first day of the Sweet 16? So here we go. We made up ground. Yes, sir. We made up ground, and now we are officially tied for first place. Yes. Oh, no, we've got first place. We've overtaken first place. Yes. Sir. Woo! We're back, baby. Oh, y'all thought y'all could challenge us? Come on. Disrespect. Disrespect. I knew it was a challenge, and I invited people to, have a better bracket than me, but did y'all really think you were going to beat the host of Takes by Fans? Come on. Come on. Like we said, we started the show for a reason, folks. So we are now back in first place. Love seeing it. We've got 38 points. Go Rutgers, who was the previous first place holder, basically since the tip-off, since day one of March Madness. He's now in second place with 37 points. And then HGMF6, I mean, are you even trying at this point? What are those picks? In last place with 32 points. So he's 6 points out of first, 5 points out of second. And, points are dwindling a little bit here. We still got 88 points remaining. Fantastic. Second place has 72 points remaining. And then third place, 76 points remaining. So he has a little bit, still kind of can make up a little bit of ground there. Not as much as us, but that's to be expected. All right, so let's see what happened in our bracket yesterday. We obviously have Baylor going all the way. That was the only team left in the South that we have on our bracket, and we do have them advancing to the championship game, so we can still be getting points off of that. Fantastic. So Baylor beats Villanova. We ended up taking Villanova with the points. We were getting about 7 or 8 points. Unfortunately, they kind of beef it at the end. They were winning the entire game, and then just kind of midway second half, they really just started to flounder and couldn't score, and then Baylor took over, and it ended up winning by 11. So very close there, a close loss. This is the one that we still counted a little bit as a win. We were still right on the right track. The Syracuse game we were kind of totally wrong about because they were never even kind of having a lead. Couldn't even really kind of score consistently. So very well done for Baylor for winning. Unfortunately, Nova couldn't cover the 8 points there. Gosh darn you, Villanova. Alrighty, and then the other game, Arkansas and Oral Roberts. I mean, man, oh man, we were getting 11 points by Oral Roberts. Fantastic. They do cover. Unfortunately, a tough, heartbreaking 2-point loss there against Arkansas. I mean, man, oh man, could you imagine a 15th seed getting into the Elite Eight facing Baylor, challenging Baylor? I would have loved to see that. But shout out to Arkansas getting the win, closing out the game 72-70. Fantastic work. But hey, we called the points there. That was a lot of points they showed us. I mean, they put up 81 points. If you put up 81 points in a college basketball game, I'm going to ride with you, and then I get 11 points on top of that. We're going to take that, and that's kind of exactly how this game played out. We thought Arkansas would probably stall because they've kind of been going down a little bit in points, so that we felt comfortable taking the 11 there with Oral Roberts, and it pays off. So fantastic there. Alrighty, now we go to the Midwest side of the bracket. The only team that we had left standing was Houston, and fantastic. They beat Syracuse, kind of no problem. Really, it was not a problem at all. Syracuse didn't show up. The Boeheim player, really, I mean, he was kind of streaky all tournament. He finally found his rhythm in both of those games. That never came here in this game, in the Sweet 16, and that's really why Syracuse lost. I mean, they only put up 46 points. They could not score for the life of them. Great defense by Houston, and now they go to the Elite Eight, where we have them unfortunately losing. Unfortunately, because we called Illinois for some stupid reason. So unfortunately, we can't make up any more points there in the Midwest, but we still got great odds here in the East and the West side of the bracket. Alrighty, so I mean, basically both these sides are almost perfect still. Well, I guess not really, because we did call Iowa getting all the way to the Elite Eight, and they are no longer there. But so for the matchups today, Gonzaga and Creighton, we need Gonzaga to win. We have chosen them to win the entire thing. Now, everybody else in our tournament, in our bracket tournament, has also chosen Gonzaga. So if they lose, it's not going to be that much since we already have the lead, and we really can't, once we get points for that, they'll get points for that as well. So we can't make up really too much ground there. But hey, we still would like them to win. I mean, we predicted them to win the entire thing, so we would like to be right about that. Alrighty, and then we get USC versus Oregon. That game's on, but we didn't choose the right winner of that one, so we'll have to just see what happens there. And then in the East, we got Michigan and FSU. We need Michigan with the win since we've got them advancing to the Elite Eight. Unfortunately, we also called BYU going to the Elite Eight, and they didn't even get past the first round of the freaking tournament. So unfortunate there. Could not get any more points there. But the big game for us to kind of continue our lead here is Michigan, because I do not believe the other brackets have them. So let's quickly go over their brackets to kind of see where they floundered a little bit last night. So here we go. Go Rutgers, who slipped to second place here. He did choose Baylor, beating Winthrop. Unfortunately, Winthrop was not there. But he did have Baylor winning, so he's still getting points there. And he has Baylor getting into the Final Four like us, so we can't really make up any more points there. Alrighty, what did he call there for the Arkansas game? He did not choose. He had Arkansas going to the Sweet 16, but he had them losing to Ohio State. So, I mean, if he just made that one last switch, if that was his one switch, he would still be in first place. So, thankfully, he didn't. So, he can still keep first place ahead of him. Alrighty, and then in the Midwest, what did he have going? He had absolutely nothing going there. He had Houston going to the Sweet 16, but losing to West Virginia. So that was kind of where we were able to make up ground. Houston getting the win over Syracuse. Yes, sir, we were big fans on Houston. Unfortunately, we sold them a little short by not getting into the Final Four, because if they did get into the Final Four, if we had them going into the Final Four, we could have just put the nail in the coffin on our tournament here. Unfortunately, we did not choose Houston. Darn it. Alrighty, let's see where he can kind of catch up today. He's got Gonzaga getting into the Elite Eight like us, but he does not have the kind of second team available for that Elite Eight, so he can get no more points ahead of us there. He can't get any more points ahead of us in the South. He can't get any more points ahead of us in the Midwest, so now that only leaves the East. So let's see what he's got. Well, he didn't even choose Michigan with the win here, but he does have FSU, so really the winner of this FSU-Michigan game is really going to decide all of who's going to win our bracket here. So a tough day for us. Hopefully we can survive it. I'm hoping that we can, because he does have Bama. He did protect Bama to get to the Sweet 16, but he did not choose them to get to the Elite Eight. He chose Texas, who no longer is in the tournament. So it's really going to come down to today. I think we'll know the winner. I think we will. Since we all chose Gonzaga and Baylor getting into the Final Four, we all chose Gonzaga to win. And the only thing different here that we have in the East is FSU and Michigan. So the winner of that game will decide the winner of our bracket. So let's go Michigan. We are Michigan fans today. 1,000%. They play today at 5 o'clock. Alrighty, now let's just check at HGMF6. Let's see if there's any way he can beat us, if he can kind of get into the lead here. So, like us and Go Rutgers, he has Baylor getting to the Elite Eight, but he does not have Baylor getting into the Final Four. So, that he can't make up any ground there. And if Baylor gets to the Final Four, we're gonna go leaps and bounds ahead of this man. Let's see if we can make it up anywhere else. There we go. In the Midwest, everybody is out for him, so he has not. He can't make up any ground in the Midwest like we can, so he can't make up any points there. He did choose Gonzaga to get to the Elite Eight, and he does correctly choose USC getting to the Sweet 16, but he doesn't have them advancing. He has Iowa advancing to the Elite Eight, so he can't make up any points there. He has Gonzaga getting to the Final Four like our brackets, so he can't make up any points there, and now that just brings him to the East here. He's got FSU and Bama, so he can make up a lot of points here. He is still in the running to kind of be the winner here. If FSU and Bama both win, then he correctly predicted the Elite Eight right in the East, and then he's got a lot more points available for that kind of Final Four game if Bama goes. So he could still make up a little bit of ground here with a Michigan win. We can kind of, pull away decently, but if FSU and Bama win, watch out for this man to kind of leapfrog all of us and take sole control of first place by tomorrow. So we'll see what happens, but this is still anybody's race. Everybody still has a chance. There's ways for everybody in our tournament here to make up ground, to still get more points, while other brackets don't get any more points. So by the end of today, we should have a really firm understanding of who is kind of in sole control here of our tournament so far through through the first half of the Sweet 16, it's us, but it's still anybody's race, so we'll see what happens. Alrighty, now let's kind of keep on the topic of March Madness and go over to our moneymaker here. Like we said, we went 2 of 2 yesterday, taking all the points. So let's see if we get any more great value here with a lot of points. We'll have to swallow some points with Michigan. We got to double down and ride on them and kind of, give them all of our faith, faith and love. Alrighty, so here we go. Holy moly, the first one up, Creighton versus Gonzaga. And we know Gonzaga has just been wiping the floor with some teams here, putting up a lot of points, holding teams to not a lot of points. So the spread here does not surprise us at all. Creighton plus 13, Gonzaga minus 13. So let's see if that is even a good line, a good spread. So Gonzaga first game put up 98 points. They have that potential to go and score 100 points. Wild. And then in the second game, didn't really take that much of a step back. Still put up a ton of points. More points than a lot of teams have even dreamed of putting up here in this tournament. They put up 87. So a little bit of a step back here, facing better opponents. Alrighty, then we get Creighton, 63 points in their first game and then 72 points in their second game. So we see them getting better, but are they going to be able to challenge Gonzaga? I mean, man, oh man. I mean, they're absolutely fantastic. This Creighton team is the 5th seed, and we just saw the 1-5 matchup yesterday with Baylor and Villanova, and Villanova kept it close all game, but really floundered in the kind of the second half of the second half. So Baylor ends up winning by 11. Man, is Gonzaga that 13, man? It's really tempting me. It's really tempting me, truly. Getting 13 points here. Like we say, take a lot of points here because anything can happen in March Madness. So we will take the 13 here. I think Gonzaga wins, but I think Creighton has had a lot of time to they've had a week to prepare for this game. So I think they get it done. I think they keep it relatively competitive. I think what was the biggest win differential from yesterday, Houston versus Syracuse, and it was by 16 points. That was the biggest lead, the biggest win yesterday. So we're getting 13 here. I know Gonzaga is the best team probably in this tournament. I think hands down. That's why the majority of people have picked them to win the tournament. But I think we're gonna go Gonzaga, or I think we're gonna take the points there with Creighton. Let's get 13. Let's live and die by it. It's too many points. Anything can happen. Alrighty, that brings us to Florida State and Michigan. Florida State +2, Michigan -2. That's all we have to swallow. 2 measly points there? Absolutely. Absolutely. We did call this matchup right, Michigan versus FSU. We've ran that through our algorithm. It told us to choose Michigan. That's why we chose Michigan to advance. So we got to double down here. This is really for the tournament right here. Like we just said, it kind of went through everybody's bracket. This is where it separates us and those other 2 competitors that we're up against there. So we need Michigan to win. We're going to double down here. Let's swallow the 2 points and cross our fingers that they win the game. Alrighty, then we go UCLA versus Alabama. UCLA +6.5, Alabama -6.5. So let's see what they've been doing for this tournament. Alabama putting up 68 points in the first meeting and then 96. Holy moly! Woo! Challenging Gonzaga for the most points scored here this season in March Madness, only losing out by 2 points there. So we only have to swallow 6 for them. Let's see what UCLA is doing here. 73 points in their first meeting, 67 points in their second meeting. So we see Alabama has so much scoring potential. I think this is the first time where we will be swallowing points here. We see UCLA kind of taking a little bit of a step up, but it's only by 5. I mean, this is really they're showing that they're kind of they're limited in their capacity to score a lot of points, where Alabama said, 68, 96, it doesn't matter to us. We're going to be putting up a lot of points here. So we'll swallow 6.5 here for Alabama. And then the last game, Oregon versus USC. Low spread here. Oregon +2, USC -2. So let's see what we get here. Alrighty, USC. They put up 72 points in their first meeting, 85 points in their second meeting, and won by 34 points. Holy moly, fantastic. And then Oregon, they didn't even play their first game. Remember, it got canceled last second because VCU didn't have that kind of mini COVID outbreak and didn't have enough players to play. So no contest there. Oregon only played one game, and they put up 95 big old points there in their first game, technically in the second round. Wow, that's interesting. So what do we take there? Oregon versus USC. Well, man, oh man, do we go with the more experienced or the more well-rested? I mean, they're both well-rested because they both have a week off, but Oregon a little bit more well-rested, fresh legs because they played one less game. Could we even count that? I don't even think that. We can't even believe that. So we take that back. I don't even really believe in that. I mean, you play kind of on consecutive days, so I mean, not truly out of shape there for Oregon. So this one's going to be a close one. Both able to score a lot of points here. 95 points by Oregon. That's truly fantastic. Man, oh man, but they've only played one game. That is where we kind of lose it a little bit. So, alrighty. Let's, we're going to call it here. Let's call it. Let's call the game. USC end up beating number 3 Kansas and held them to 51 points. Oregon allowed Iowa, number 2, to put up 80 points. Luckily for Oregon, they were able to, have great offense, but USC's got great offense and great defense of just kind of looking. I mean, look at this. USC held Drake to 56 points and then held Kansas to 51 points. They're holding you to below 60 points, so that's fantastic. We'll trust USC here and take USC -2. So our moneymaker for today's March Madness action is Creighton +13, Michigan -2, Alabama -6.5, and USC -2. Feeling good here. Alrighty, let's head over to the NBA. Some new players making their kind of debut for new teams. So let's go through the NBA. We'll go through this a little quickly. And we'll do our moneymaker for today's NBA action because we do have about 4 games on it. One is tipping off at 1 o'clock, so I don't think we're going to be able to get to that one in time, but we'll see. We might be able to. So here we go. Let's start here. Pistons and Wizards. Wizards get the win, 106-92 over the Pistons. Wizards back on track, so let's break them down a little bit here. Russell Westbrook, 19 points, 10 assists, 19 rebounds, all defensively. Classic. Bradley Beal, 17 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Let's go to Russell Westbrook one more time. He only had 6 turnovers, so a little lighter than the 8, but still a little bit more than the 4 or 4/5. I guess we'll give you 5 if you're having the triple-double, but 6 just one too many. Luckily for him, they were able to win the game because everybody really had, even scoring out here. This is what we're talking about, getting other players involved, just not having Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal putting up 30 points and nobody else putting up anything else. So Russell Westbrook, 19 points, Bradley Beal, 17 points, Alex Len, 12 points, Rui Hachimura, 14 points, 6 rebounds, fantastic. And then off their bench, Raul Neto, 12 points, and Daniel Gafford, 13 points, 5 rebounds off the bench. So everybody really getting it done here. A lot of players having multiple double-digit points. That's what we're talking about, not just Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal getting it all done themselves. Now let's go to the Pistons. We'll start here with Saddiq Bey. Man, oh man, that man had about, a good week stretch, and then it's fallen off, man. 9 points on 25% shooting on 12 shots. That's not great. 1 of 7 from 3, not great. Jeremy Grant, 9 points on 33% shooting. I mean, if he's not the leading scorer of this team, they're not going to win, and that's exactly what we're seeing right here. Only 2 players did really decent. Wayne Ellington had 15 points in the starting rotation. Mason Plumlee, he's really been getting it done here for this team. Unfortunately, the trade deadline's gone and passed, so he can't get traded. Unfortunate for him. So he's on this team. 11 points, 1 steal, 1 assist, 8 rebounds. Not too shabby for that man. Not too shabby for that man on a very, very lackluster roster. So Wizards are able to get the win. Very well done by everybody. Basically just everybody on that Washington team. Alrighty, now let's go to the Knicks and the Bucks. And the Knicks win, but it's not really impressive because literally everybody was out for the Bucks. So Knicks win 102-96 against a Buckless Bucks team. No Giannis, no Chris Middleton, no Dante DiVincenzo, no Drew Holiday. Literally 4 of their 5 starters not playing. Brook Lopez was the only starter still playing, and he had a pretty decent game. Classic game. 12 points, 10 rebounds. Alrighty, let's see who tried to step up here. Thaddeus Antetokounmpo, I mean, the brother of Giannis, had an absolutely fantastic game filling into his brother's shoes and kind of did Giannis things out here. 23 points, 5 assists, 10 rebounds, shot 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Classic Giannis there, but not classic Giannis at the three-point line. Thaddeus is the better three-point shooter than Giannis, 4 of 5 from 3, where Giannis is shooting like 1 of 3 or 1 of 2, just not taking a lot because he does not make a lot of them. So Thaddeus, all right, let's see if he can get some more minutes out here. This is great showing. 36 minutes, a positive in a loss, plus 1, 23 points, 5 assists, 10 rebounds. I can get behind that. And then we got Jordan Nwora. Also stepping it up a little bit here. 21 points, 10 rebounds. Didn't shoot great, 38% from the field, but 4 of 8 from 3, so I guess we can get behind that. Didn't have the best defensive performance either, as we see a minus 14 in the plus-minus, but, taking this opportunity, Jordan, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, Nwora. I'm going to call it Nora. And Thaddeus Antetokounmpo, just taking that chance here, taking that... I didn't want to say chance. Taking that opportunity with the starting lineup pretty much all out and having great performances here. So let's see if Jordan Nwora or Thaddeus Antetokounmpo get more minutes here off the bench for them. Solid, because they had pretty great game here for having their first kind of real minutes in a starter rotation. We'll take it. And then Pat Connaughton, 12 points off the bench, and Brian Forbes, 10 points off the bench as well. So we'll see what happens here in Milwaukee if those players get more PT. So we'll keep an eye on them. But very well done for stepping up, next man up mentality. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the win, but good individual performances by those two players. Alrighty, now let's go to the Knicks now. Derrick Rose back, but he's not in the starting lineup. Still kind of played starting lineup minutes, 29 minutes off the bench. But here we go. Elfrid Payton, 9 points, 4 assists. Not great. Alec Burks, 21 points, 5 assists, 10 rebounds. Great night by him. Mitchell Robinson at the 5 here, unfortunately got injured really early in this game. What did they say? A fracture in his right foot, unfortunately, so he's probably going to be missing a lot of time. Only 6 minutes played, and he had 2 points, 1 rebound. Then we get Taj Gibson elevated to the starting lineup for this game. 6 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds, a +7 in the plus-minus, so really just being that defensive piece there in the starting rotation. And then R.J. Barrett, 21 points, 7 assists. No Julius Randle for this team, so Taj Gibson tries to fill in and has a decent performance. I mean, this is nowhere near what Julius Randle's going to do, but solid defense out there. Alrighty, now we go to their bench. Who stepped up here? Nerlens Noel, 6 points, 11 rebounds. Basically was the starter since Mitchell Robinson got injured early. And then Derrick Rose playing 29 minutes off the bench. 13 points, 2 steals, 1 assist, 1 rebound. Just an alright game. And then Emmanuel Quickley, 13 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. So 2 players in double-digit scoring off the bench. Decent starting performances and facing a lackluster Bucks team all culminates for a Knicks win. Not too great, though. Not too great. Don't really think that gives me confidence of rooting and betting on the Knicks moving forward. Not a great performance, but they didn't have Julius Randle. So Knicks get the win 102-96. Alrighty, now let's go to the Rockets and the Timberwolves. Rockets get the win 129-107. Kelly Olynyk's first game with the Rockets, and he did pretty good. Did pretty decent out here. Unfortunately, no Christian Wood. He's back to being out, unfortunately. So hopefully he can get right, because having Kelly Olynyk come off the bench, I think, is going to help the Rockets even more than he did. But Kelly Olynyk, 25 minutes in the starting rotation here, 16 points, 3 steals, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. We'll take that. Good performance out here. Shot 4 of 6 from 3, 5 of 8 from the field. He got it done out there. So great performance by Kelly Olynyk. Kevin Porter Jr., also a newly acquired Rocket, 25 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. Great night by him. John Wall takes a little bit of a backseat approach with 13 points and 12 assists. Did not shoot well, 35% from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. All right, Jashawn Tate at the starting 4 now. 10 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Sterling Brown still in the starting lineup, 16 points, 7 rebounds on 75% shooting. Absolutely magnificent. So all the starters really got it done here for the Rockets. And then off the bench, we get Ben McLemore, 12 points, and DJ Augustine, 23 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. So really, this is what the Rockets team could be. And now you have Christian Wood in the starting lineup, Kelly Olynyk coming off the bench. Now we got 3 great scorers off the bench: Ben McLemore, Kelly Olynyk, DJ Augustine. Let's get ready to rock. Kevin Porter Jr. coming in game 1, being the leading scorer for the squad. Alrighty, now we can start buying this Rockets team a little bit more here now. Let's see if they can kind of start beating some of the better teams. Obviously, they just faced the Timberwolves these last 2 games and has really kind of won both the games. They just kind of floundered in the fourth quarter of the first game, or they would have won it. They put up 10 points. I mean, that's truly pathetic. But, yeah, now we'll see what the Rockets' next opponent is. But, Timberwolves obviously the worst team in the league. So we'll see if they can do anything against, an average, slightly above average team, even a great team. So we'll see how they do. But this is a pretty solid lineup, and we'll see if they can get back on track. I think it's a little bit too late for this Rockets team to really make a playoff push, even if they won out kind of a thing there. They are currently 14th seed in the West. Holy moly. 13 games won. They need to get to 22 games won. So they need to make up 9 games, and that's just to get into the play-in tournament. So definitely have their work cut out for them, but we'll see what they're able to do against some good teams moving forward. Alrighty, then we go to the Bulls and the Spurs, and no, this was one of our moneymaker picks. We were believing in the Bulls with Vucevic's debut. Unfortunately, just did not pan out well. Spurs were really leading the entire game. Bulls had a nice little stretch there late in the fourth quarter to make it kind of close. They cut the lead down to like 9 at one point. I think that's like the closest it ever got. So a little unfortunate there. But let's see what happened in Vucevic's first game. Vucevic, 21 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds, shot 2 of 4 from 3, 56% from the field. So pretty much a classic Vucevic night besides having, 14, 15 rebounds. But it is his first game there, so we give him a little bit of a break. Now let's see what Zach Levine did. Did he struggle with kind of the attention Vucevic was getting? So here we go. Zach Levine, 18 points, 3 rebounds. He shot 40%, 1 of 5 from 3. So not a lot of points there. Vucevic was actually the leading scorer of the squad. So Zach Levine's going to have to kind of figure out his game around Vucevic. That's kind of why Aaron Gordon wasn't having success there in Orlando. So we'll see if that kind of ruins Zach Levine a little bit. I know Zach Levine's a shooting guard and Aaron Gordon's more of a small/power forward. But we'll see what happens here. Alrighty, to finish out the starters here, Thomas Satoransky, the starting point guard here, 8 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Lauri Markkanen, 10 points, 3 rebounds, a little light. He shot 1 of 6 from 3, not great. And then Patrick Williams at the starting 3, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Nothing really great there. But let's go down their bench now. Kobe White is back on their bench and 13 points on 41% shooting already, 4 assists and 5 rebounds. Not terrible. We need Kobe White to really start to step it up a little bit more here. The big 3 needs to be Levine, Vucevic, and Kobe White. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there, but yeah, Kobe White definitely has to step it up a little bit more than this and a little bit more consistently. All right, now Thaddeus Young back to the bench and back having great performances. Yes, sir, 10 points, 9 assists, and 3 rebounds in 22 minutes off the bench. That's what Vucevic kind of brings to this team, his own scoring production, but also great bench production as well. So this could be a pretty good bench here, Kobe White and Thaddeus Young, but Kobe White needs to be a little bit better, a little bit more consistent. So not terrible overall for their first game together. We'll see what the Bulls can do with a little bit more time, a little bit more kind of practice under their belt as a full unit. But I'm definitely interested in this Bulls team as we kind of go down the stretch here in the second half of the season for the playoff positioning, for the play-in tournament, because the Bulls are currently number 10, and I would love to see what they're able to do with Vucevic here. So I would like to see them in the playoffs. Alrighty, now let's go to the Spurs now. Why did they win? Alrighty, DeMar DeRozan, 17 points, 4 steals, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, shot 50% from the field. Keldon Johnson, 14 points, 4 rebounds. Jacob Poeltl, 20 points, 9 rebounds. Great game by him. Derek White, 16 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, and DeJounte Murray, 14 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. I mean, this starting lineup, when they're all on like this, that's fantastic. And then they got great contributions from the bench. Patty Mills, 16 points off the bench. Drew Eubanks, 8 points, 5 rebounds, and Rudy Gay, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steals, 2 blocks. So great all-around performance. You get great job from the starting 5. 2 great bench scores here, and that's going to be a win on basically every single game, every single night. Doesn't matter who the team is. So great work here by the Spurs. Once again, the Spurs team back to being good. I mean, they're so up and down, having good games and really bad games and then great games and then really mediocre games. I really can't get a firm reading on the Spurs team. It's like the last team that I really don't know what I get on a consistent basis. So that's why we usually stay away from betting the Spurs, betting against the Spurs, and we get bit in the butt here, doubling it down on Vucevic's first game back and against the Spurs. Not the best matchup there for a moneymaker. Alrighty, now we go to Mavericks and the Pelicans now from last night. Did no Porzingis for the Mavericks. Luka Doncic was also not in this game as well. So they're able to get the win there. Once again, not a good look the Pelicans did win, my fault. So very lackluster Mavericks starting lineup. Obviously, that's why they lose. So let's start here with the Pelicans. Zion Williamson, consistent as always, efficient as always, 38 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds on 65% shooting, 12 of 18 from the free throw line. Would like to see you shore that up a little bit, but you got there 18 times, so I guess we can't knock that. Brandon Ingram, 19 points, 4 rebounds. Steven Adams, 4 points, 7 rebounds. Eric Bledsoe, 11 points. Alrighty, not a bad game by Eric Bledsoe finally. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker, yes sir, 20 points. He only had 1 assist, a little light there. 5 rebounds, shot 41%, 6 of 10 from 3. But this is kind of a little better than Lonzo, I would say. They're winning games. Are the Pelicans on a 3-game winning streak right now? What do they got going on? Have they won all their games without Lonzo? Pelicans, they are on a 1-game winning streak, 5-5 in the last 10. But, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is having some pretty good success out here without Lonzo Ball, kind of in place of Lonzo Ball. So, not really getting the hype around Lonzo still. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is kind of doing the same thing, just a little bit light on the assist, but he's efficient from shooting, and he put up 20 points. So, we'll give it to him, I guess. Already, Josh Hart, 10 rebounds off the bench, only 2 points, though. And then Kiara Lewis there, 13 points and 5 assists and 3 rebounds off the bench. So everybody really kind of getting it done for the starters. Usual suspects getting it done. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, taking his opportunity here with Lonzo Ball not in, and really kind of doing real good out here. So big about it. Alrighty, and then the Mavericks. Tim Hardaway Jr., our official 6th Man of the Year candidate now, 30 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, and 34 minutes off the bench. So he did play a lot more minutes, but without Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis out on the floor, he takes it upon himself to have 30 points and the leading scorer of the squad. So fantastic for him. Jalen Brunson also kind of elevated his scoring potential a little bit here, 24 points in the starting point guard position. So fantastic. Boban Marjanovic gets in the starting lineup because of no Kristaps Porzingis, and he's back to his old ways. 13 points, 11 rebounds, 5 of those rebounds offensive, and he was a +2 in the plus-minus in a loss. So love seeing Boban out there. I think he's a fantastic player, and then even in the starting lineup, he can still get it done there. So Mavericks lose, no surprise, but some nice players stepping up. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Boban, love it. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. Celtics and the Thunder. Celtics get the win. I believe Evan Fournier did not play this game. And as we know for the Thunder, no. What's his name? What's his name? We didn't bet him because we knew he was out. Darn it. Yeah, really blanking on that. So we'll come back to them. We'll start here with the Celtics, and if we remember the name, I'm sure y'all know it. Alrighty, so here we go. Celtics, Jason Tatum, 27 points on 40% shooting, 4 of 12 from 3, little light there. But 27 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, still a pretty decent game from him. Jaylen Brown, 25 points, 3 rebounds. We also see no Kemba Walker here, so the starting lineup got a little switched around. Marcus Smart goes to the starting guard position. Jaylen Brown drops down to the number 2, and Grant Williams gets elevated to the number 3. And then Jason Tatum at the 4, Robert Williams still here at the 5. But Marcus Smart, 8 points, 8 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 of 4 from 3. Not great there. Jaylen Brown, 25 points, 3 rebounds. Great night by him. Robert Williams, 9 points, 14 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and only 1 turnover. So I'm really loving what Robert Williams is bringing to the table right here. Not great defense, as we see a -9 in a loss. Not great, especially in a 17-point win. So Robert Williams has to definitely clean up the defensive side a little bit. But hey, I mean, 9 points, 14 rebounds. He's getting a little bit better. And then Grant Williams, 2 points on only 3 shots, 7 rebounds. Alrighty, off the bench, what do we get here? Carson Edwards, 12 points. Taco Fall playing 6 minutes, 4 points, 5 rebounds, a +8. Moritz Wagner playing 6 minutes as well, 2 points, 1 rebound. So Taco Fall a little bit better than Moritz Wagner. Didn't really need to make that trade. Had your big in-house, but y'all wouldn't know because y'all don't play him. Peyton Pritchard, 12 points, 7 rebounds. So not terrible all around by the Celtics. They make it work without Kemba Walker. Evan Fournier should be playing next game for the Celtics team, so we'll see how that kind of shakes out for the Celtics. But they get the win. All right, against the Thunder without... Still can't even... Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, there it is. Alrighty. So, without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, we expect them to lose, and they do. Luguentz Dort, once again, does not really step it up offensively. 10 points, 2 rebounds. Theo Melendon, 22 points. Moses Brown, oh my gosh, 21 points, 23 rebounds. Oh my goodness, Robert Williams. Not great on the defensive side, as we see. And then that was really it of people that were, I mean, this Thunder team without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, there's no way they win the games without him. So, alrighty, let's move on to Jazz and the Grizzlies. Jazz get the big old win. I mean, once again, this Grizzlies team, we can't trust them. We cannot trust them. We cannot trust them. They are an average team. I would like to see them above average, but they're never beating the good teams. We see this constantly. So John Morant, 12 points, 4 assists on 33% shooting. Very light on everything that he usually does. Grayson Allen, 9 points on 1 of 5 from 3. A light night by him. Jonas Valanciunas, 13 points, 11 rebounds. Classic game by him. Kyle Anderson, 16 points, 4 assists. Dylan Brooks, 13 points, 2 rebounds. Kind of all right by them, but John Morant not having a great game. Their bench, we got Brandon Clark with 12.6 rebounds. We get DeAnthony Melton with 12 points. So just overall, just the Jazz just outscoring them. The defense there by the Grizzlies just did not get it done. Now let's go to the Jazz now. Donovan Mitchell, 35 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds. Yes, sir. He shot 70% and 5 of 7 from 3. Fantastic. Joe Ingles in the starting lineup again. 15 points, 7 assists on 3 of 5 from 3. Fantastic. He always steps up. Rudy Gobert, classic game, 16 points, 14 rebounds, fantastic. Royce O'Neal, 10 points, 9 rebounds, great night by him. And then Bojan Bogdanovic, very light by him, 3 points on 14% shooting, not great. And then the 6th man of the year steps it up big time, 28 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds off the bench, holy moly. And that's really the reason why they won right there, folks. Jordan Clarkson having an absolute fantastic bench piece where the Grizzlies don't. So the Jazz had a better single-handed bench player, and the Jazz also had a better point guard with Donovan Mitchell over John Morant, unfortunately, and that's the reason why for their win. Alrighty, now let's go to the 76ers and the Clippers, and unfortunately for the 76ers, they lose, and they lose by 10 against the Clippers, so we do have to move them back a spot in our power rankings. So we are going to have to give the Nets the number 1 spot again because I have to drop the 76ers down 1 spot. Every time they lose to a good team without Joel Embiid, I am going to have to drop them spot by spot there. So that's the first win again, or that's the first loss against a good team in the Clippers without Joel Embiid. So let's see where everything went wrong, who did not step up. So Ben Simmons, 15 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds. He had 6 turnovers. Not a great night by him. Seth Curry, 7 points on 42% shooting, 0 of 2 from 3. Got to start making those a little bit more, man. Mike Scott in the starting center position in lieu of Joel Embiid. And look at this, 3 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound on 16% shooting. Does Joel Embiid ever do that? No, he doesn't. Tobias Harris, 29 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. Always can count on him. Love that man. And then Danny Green, pretty decent game. 17 points, 5 of 9 from 3. So Tobias Harris, Danny Green both step up. Nobody else really does. We get Shake Milton off the bench, 16 points. Dwight Howard off the bench, 9 points, 11 rebounds. But man, oh man, Seth Curry, Mike Scott, Ben Simmons all having a little bit of lackluster nights. And that's a big reason for why they lost this game. Now we go to the Clippers. Why did they win? Well, Kawhi Leonard, 28 points, 3 steals, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Classic Kawhi game. Zubac, 7 points, 11 rebounds. Marcus Morris, 13 points, 3 rebounds. Paul George, 24 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds. Great night by him. Didn't shoot the 3-ball great, but everything else was fantastic. And then Reggie Jackson, 12 points, 3 assists on 71% shooting. And then they got a huge contribution off their bench. Terrence Mann, 23 points on 83% shooting. And that's a huge reason why they won as well. So a little unfortunate. Would have loved to see the 76ers keep up this kind of winning streak without Joel Embiid. But unfortunately, they ran into a good team and they couldn't beat them. So we do have to drop them a spot in our power rankings because of that. And that brings us to the last game of the night. It was a buzzer beater, folks. Harrison Barnes. Game is tied at 98. A full court inbound pass caught by Harrison Barnes. A turn and shoot, a catch and a win. And that's the game, folks. Harrison Barnes wins them the game single-handedly. Absolutely fantastic. So that's why the Kings beat the Cavs. So let's go a little bit deeper into these stats really quickly. We'll start here with the Kings here. De'Aaron Fox, 36 points, 6 assists. That man is having a great success here. Tyrese Halliburton, 13 points on 54% shooting. Raquan Holmes, 10 points, 14 rebounds. Harrison Barnes, 16 points, 11 rebounds, 1 of 3 from 3. I think the game-winning 3 right there. And then Buddy Hield, 10 points, 3 rebounds. And then off their bench, just lackluster stuff. And then the Cavs, alrighty, Colin Sexton back in the starting lineup, 26 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. Darius Garland, 18 points. Larry Nance Jr. at the 5 now, so they're kind of mixing up their starting rotation now that Jarrett Allen did not play this game. So Larry Nance Jr. at the 5, 17 points, 9 rebounds. Pretty great night by him, unfortunately a loss. Isaac Okoro, 2 points on 14% shooting. Broderick Thompson, 7 points on 25% shooting. I mean, man, oh man, they do not have any great forwards, man. C.D. Osman didn't play, and he's awful shooting the ball. Broderick Thompson in place of C.D. Osman, 25% shooting. Isaac Okoro in part of Larry Nance Jr. sliding down to the 5. Isaac Okoro goes to the 4, and he only puts up 14% shooting. I mean, man, oh man, they've got nothing great on this team. Luckily, Dean Wade, 13 points off the bench to help him out a little bit, but unfortunately, it's just a little not enough. Alrighty, now let's go to the NBA for today. 4 games on, tipping off at 1 o'clock, about 3 minutes out. Suns, Hornets, not going to be able to get to that game on our Money Maker, unfortunately. So the last games that we got on tonight, Blazers, Raptors, Hawks, Nuggets, Magic, Lakers. Alrighty, so let's get a little bit of a Money Maker going here for the NBA. Suns, Hornets, Suns minus 6.5, Hornets plus 6.5. That's tipping off in 3 minutes, so let's see if we can squeeze this in really quickly. The Hornets, they're on that 3-game winning streak without LaMelo Ball. That's fantastic. Abdel Nader's the only man out for the Suns, and for the Hornets, Malik Monk is out, so that's kind of huge for them. So I would have probably stayed away from this one. I'm just enjoying watching this Hornets team just win on their own, win without LaMelo Ball. Now, this is kind of their first true test of a good team. They've been beating their 3 games without LaMelo Ball. They beat the Heat, the Rockets, and the Spurs. Not really anything great there. The Heat's probably their best kind of opponent there. But now you're talking about the Suns. So we'll see what they do. We'll see if the Hornets can kind of keep it up without LaMelo Ball. But this is their true test. We'll know if they're for real or not. And if the Hornets win, we'll keep them in the power rankings. Even if they lose, we'll probably keep them in the power rankings until next Friday when we officially update them. Alrighty, but let's go to these other games now. Raptors and the Blazers. New or old players facing their teams from the trade deadline. Going to be interesting. So here we go. For the Blazers, everybody is good to go for them. And for the Raptors, DeAndre Bembry is out. Patrick McCall is also out for them. So everybody's good to go. I'm going to take the Blazers. Blazers -1.5 over this Raptors team. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm choosing Dame, Dollar Bill, y'all, CJ McCollum. Yes, sir. We just get Nurkic back. So, yes, sir. Everything's good to go for this Blazers team. Raptors, I mean, they've always been just kind of, a little lackluster. I mean, so we can't really trust them. The only thing that would make me kind of choose the Raptors in this game was maybe Gary Trent Jr. plays a little explosive because they traded him, but I don't see that happening. So, yeah, Blazers -1. I think that's absolutely fantastic value. Alrighty, then we get the Hawks and the Nuggets. Hawks +4.5, Nuggets -4.5 now. Alrighty, a little interesting here. Spread's a little bit lower than I thought here. All right, Lou Williams is still not playing for this Hawks team. Don't not like that a lot. And now for the Nuggets, JaVale McGee is a game-time decision. We'll see if he's going to play his first game here for the Nuggets. Aaron Gordon, also a game-time decision, so we'll see if he makes his debut. But, yeah, Nuggets -4.5. Not ready to trust this Hawks team. We need to see Lou Williams start to play for this team. I mean, they're not beating any of the good teams without, with kind of their current roster. That's why they bring in Lou Williams. But we'll take the Nuggets here, -4.5 at home. Jamal Murray gets it done, and maybe even Aaron Gordon if he plays. Alrighty, then we get the Magic and the Lakers now. Magic +6.5, Lakers -6.5 here. For the Magic, Terrence Ross, game-time decision. Otto Porter, game-time decision. Gary Harris out. Jonathan Isaac is out for the season. Same thing with Markelle Fultz. So, I mean, we all just saw they traded all their players there. And the players that they do have are game-time decisions. And then for the Lakers, obviously the usual suspects out. So gonna stay away from this one. I can't bet on this Lakers team. I cannot swallow any points on this Lakers team without LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So we'll have a nice little two-teamer here in the NBA. Blazers -1.5. Nuggets -4.5 there. Alrighty, now let's go to our NFL draft prospect of the day. We can finally fit this man in on the show here. So we are on day 44 of our NFL draft countdown, 73-day countdown up until the NFL draft, looking at an NFL draft prospect every single day, or trying to at least. And today's NFL draft prospect up is Elijah Molden, safety from Washington. So we'll go over the stats, and then we'll look at the film and see what this man is all about, seeing if our teams should be drafting him or not. So here we go. Elijah Molden, defensive back, safety from Washington. He's 5'10", 190. Alrighty. Kind of like a Tyrann Mathieu. I think Tyrann Mathieu is like 5'9". He may be 5'10". But, that's fine for a safety. We got no problem with that. Alrighty, 4 seasons in Washington. Love that. College educated. Got that degree. Love it. Already started in 2017. His freshman season, played 8 games, had 19 total tackles, no sacks, no interceptions, 1 pass defense, no forced fumbles. Already then in 2018, he had 29 total tackles, still no sacks, still no interceptions, 5 pass defenses, 1 fumble recovery, and one forced fumble. So still good there. Getting better every single season. Then in 2019, his junior year, 79 total tackles. Holy moly. 4 interceptions, 12 pass defenses, 1 fumble recovery, 3 forced fumbles already. So a playmaker on the defensive end of the ball. His junior year, his best season, getting better every single season. And then in 2020, they only played 4 games. So, I mean, he's not going to, have all that impact from 2019 because he played 13 games in 2019 and only 4 games in 2020. But in 2020, 4 games played, 26 total tackles, still no sacks. So, not getting there. Can't really blitz. No safety blitzes for this man. 1 interception, 1 pass defense, no forced fumbles or fumble recoveries. But, 2019, his junior year, best season. That's what we like to see. Obviously, we'll give him a little bit of a pass here in 2020 because of the whole COVID situation. But he did get to 3 bowl games from 2017 and 2019. So we got to take a look at those. We do judge bowl games very heavy. I want to see you, you face better teams in the bowl games. You have a month to prepare for a bowl game, so there's no reason why you should be floundering in bowl games. But first season, he did not play in the bowl game, his rookie season. Alrighty, or freshman season. So now let's go to 2018. He played, 2 bowl games here. Did they get 2 bowl games? What is this? What did they get to the championship game? And then an actual bowl game? Yeah, Pac-12 championship game. Well done. Alrighty, so gets to the Pac-12 championship game. They win that game. They held Utah to 3 points defensively. Well done, Molden. Alrighty. 2 tackles, no interceptions, nothing. But hey, I mean, defensively as a collective, they held them to 3 points. I'll give them that. And then they get to a bowl game against Ohio State. Wow. Did they get into the college football playoffs in 2019? No, they were the 5th. Okay. Ohio State was 5. Washington was 9. So not a playoff game, but a bowl game nonetheless. Unfortunately, they lose that game. Once again, he only had 2 tackles, no interceptions, or no nothing. So just a little bit of a lockdown defender there against Utah. Just couldn't really get it done against Ohio State, which is, one of the better teams in the league. Alrighty, then let's go to 2019. Alrighty, got to a bowl game against Boise State. Is this the bowl game or the championship game? Bowl game. Alrighty. Alrighty, so he gets to the bowl game. They get the win. Fantastic. 9 tackles, 1 interception. Love it. And 1 forced fumble. So, I mean, well, like we said, this 2019 was his best year. He got it done in the bowl game, got it done in the regular season. So, we love what we're seeing this man, getting better every single season. Then COVID hit, the COVID season. So, we really couldn't see him go above and beyond what he did in that 2019 season. But overall, the stats are good. Bowl game stats are good. Overall stats are good. Getting it done in key scenarios is good. So, stats are all checking out on this man. Now, the only thing left to do is watch the film on him. So, we'll see what we get. So here we go. We get the 2018 and 2019 highlights from this man. Obviously, he only played in, 4 games in 2020, so we really can't find anything there. So 2018, 2019 is best season. So we'll see what this man can do. So here we go. Elijah Molden, a safety from Washington. His number is 3 if we need to follow him around on the field. So here we go. Film is up. Alrighty, first play, he just comes up and makes a big ol' hit. 3rd and 5. Let's go back a little bit here. The quarterback throws it about a yard short of the first down marker, and Molden comes up quickly. I mean, look at him attack on this ball. Just kind of breaks on the ball absolutely fantastically. Sees the eyes of the quarterback drifting back until, this receiver right here. Throws it a yard short. Makes a huge hit that forces an actual incompletion. So it didn't even matter where the quarterback threw it because it's an incompletion all day. Alrighty, here we go. Just sitting down right here. Following the eyes of the quarterback and then going and making a play on the ball and tips the ball away. This man's got some nice kind of concentration, knows where the quarterback's going to go with the ball, can read the eyes of the quarterback and still kind of play around him and knows what's around him. Alrighty, on the sideline, just comes up and makes a big old tackle there. Alrighty, here we go in the red zone. Let's lock it down. Here he goes. Yes, sir. Pick in the red zone. That's what I'm all about. Just kind of, he's not like a strong safety. This is what I like about this man. He's kind of playing a little bit all around the field. He can, kind of play like the shorter kind of zones, not the deeper zones. And here he is in the front goal line of the end zone, just reading the eyes perfectly. And just look at how well he plays this. Look at this technique. Woof. Just, kind of stepping back a little bit, reading the eyes, fades back inside, and then that full extension. This is just great technique of how to just catch a wide open ball right there. That's fantastic. So, alrighty. Maybe a little bit more of a Tyrann Mathieu, Jamal Adams type of safety where he's all over the field. So I love it so far. That's just absolute perfection right there. Perfection defensively. Alrighty, here he comes on the blitz. We know he never has a sack, but there he goes. Plays it fantastically on the run. He blitzes a little bit, knows it's a run, but gets right back in the play, goes right back inside. And it's about a 3-yard gain, but he's blitzing off the edge, so it's great recovery right there. Alrighty, great defense. Man, defense incomplete on 4th and 6. Yes, sir. This man is clutch. Locking it up in the red zone. 3rd downs, 4th downs, getting you off the field. That's what we're all about, man. Look at that. Knocks it out. Alrighty, look at that closing kind of speed on the man to force an incomplete pass. Let's go back to this one very quickly. It's going to be an out route, so he's got a lot of ground to cover here. Breaks on it. Ball's a little thrown a little too much inside, so he's able to kind of just make a play on it, but he does, and we can't blame him for doing what he's supposed to do out there, breaking up the ball at the last second. Fantastic work. Alrighty, let's watch this play one more time. Here we go. Just comes up, fights off the screen. I mean, fantastic work. A little bit of a wide receiver screen here, and that's what we know. That's what we want to be looking for when we look at some of these defensive players from college. Are you getting it done in the screen game? Because that's kind of what's going to be happening a lot more and more. We're seeing it more and more already in the NFL. So if you can kind of beat the screen, look at that, takes on a blocker, and then is still able to get the hands around the receiver there and bring him down for a no-yard gain right there. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right, comes up and makes another big ol' hit. Surefire tackler right there so far. Let's see if we can see some more. Once again, another screen. Oh my goodness, the screen recognition, the screen execution is fantastic. Alrighty, this is just an easy pick right there. I mean, that's just a give me. That's just a give me. Alrighty, this one's not a gimme. He steps right in front of it once again. I mean, this man is fantastic at reading the eyes of the quarterback, knows where the play is going to go, knows these right route combinations, and can just step in front of that freaking receiver right there and pick up the ball, no problem. Woo! I'm loving what I'm seeing by this man. Alrighty. Here we go in the red zone on a run and comes up and makes a big old hit right here. Look at that man work. Here he is working all the way from the left to the right side and then making a big old stick for a 0-yard gain. Yes, sir. Surefire tackle. We're marking this down. And look at this man in the coverage. I mean, great positioning. Did not let this man get inside and just kind of boxes him out and has a chance at a pick. Unfortunately, doesn't get it, but he breaks it up. Incomplete pass. Alrighty, over the middle of the field, a nice little tip up. Oh, the full extension pick, unfortunately, does not go, but it's great nonetheless. All right, here we go. Oh, forces the fumble. Yes, sir, you may have caught the ball, but hey, I'm coming over with the left, and still, I'm fighting on this ball. Yes, you may have caught it, but I'm right on your hip, and I'm still battling that ball out, and he knocks it out. Fantastic. There we go, a nice little stick there. Surefire tackle. We're back in the red zone. Can he lock it up? Yes, sir. Jumps in front of the ball and breaks it up. Incomplete pass right on the goal line. All right, they're trying his side in the end zone, and once again he says, no, that's a pass breakup. Yes, sir. Maybe a little pass interference there. I would have liked to see a little bit of a better angle from that one. Unfortunately, we don't. Once again, the screenplay. Yes, sir. Look at this man. Just recognizes it instantly and then goes and makes the attack. Let's watch it one more time. Here he is. Just reads it instantly. That man, the wide receiver, couldn't get the block on him, and he just goes and blows it up. All right, a nice little kind of another swing pass out to the right side. Plays it beautifully. Once again, playing the quarterback. Yes, sir. He's going to blow up the play in the backfield, whatever it is. All right, we get another one right here. Quarterback faking to the left, going all the way, throwing back to the right. Look at that, and he does not bite on it. A fake to the left, back to the screen to the right, and there he is for the interception. You can't fool this man. Nothing fools this man. He doesn't bite on anything. Alrighty. Is that it? That is it, man. All right, that man was truly impressive. I'm a little upset that we pushed this man back like 4 days of watching it because, man, oh man, truly impressive. I know we've looked at a couple of other safeties, but truly, I mean, if you can break up those screen games, if you could be all over the field, if you're not just kind of a strong safety out there, if you can kind of get it done in the goal line, break up everything behind the line of scrimmage, know like what is going on, can instantly recognize the play and blow it up, can follow the quarterback's eyes and predict what's going to happen and jump in front of the route for the interceptions and not get beat downfield while still maintaining great kind of man coverage. I'm all about Elijah Molden from Washington. He's going to be great in this league, man. We're seeing Tyrann Mathieu have great success, kind of a roaming safety. We saw that was kind of what he was doing. He was all over that defensive backfield, breaking it up at the line of scrimmage, playing downfield for a deep ball that's breaking it up literally last second after a catch and making it a fumble. I mean, I loved what I saw from that man. So Elijah Molden, folks, will look out for this man. He's going to make a nice defensive starter somewhere in this league, truly. Alrighty, that's going to do it for us today. Let's see if there's anything that has broken since we were live. Probably not. It's a Sunday. Usually not a lot of news. What do we get here? That's nothing. Anything else here? Anything else? Alrighty, Bucks are the leaders to sign Austin Rivers after he gets cut by OKC. So look out for Austin Rivers on the kind of market. Bucks could definitely use a little bit of a better three-point shooter. So yeah, I've got no problem with that. And a nice kind of facilitator on the floor as well. Nice little point guard out there. Alrighty, that looks to be it. What is this? NFL is expected to increase the regular season schedule to 17 games this week. All right, yeah, we knew that was coming. They want that kind of rivalry week against NFC versus AFC. So we know that was coming. Video emerges of Chase Claypool allegedly in a bar fight. I mean, what is up with these Steelers receivers, folks? We'll watch that tomorrow on the show if that's true. Eagles don't have a consensus on whether Jalen Hurts is QB1? What? What's unsure about it? What's unsure about it? You just traded away Carson Wentz. I mean, you weren't sure and you still got rid of a quarterback like that? Interesting. Alrighty. That's going to do it for us today, folks. We'll be back tomorrow live, noon Eastern, breaking down March Madness, breaking down a new NFL draft prospect, and doing all the things that we do here on Takes by Fans on the daily. Alrighty, folks. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow, noon Eastern. Twitch.tv/takesbyfans. Like every single day, folks. We're here. We're here and live. You want to be here and live? We're here and live. Be here and live. All right.